Hello, my fellow recruits. Prince Artsy Randomness here, and Doki Plus. And if you haven't seen my original playthrough of the Doki series, go ahead and check that out in my on my channel. Anyway, let's start. Doki, ba ba ba. Oh whoa. It load. Oh, there it is. Ah! Okay, hi. Metaverse Enterprise Solutions. What? Okay. All characters in this game are over the age of 18. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Would you like to review detailed content warning which contains spoilers? Alternatively, in-game content warnings can be enabled in the settings menu at any time. No, okay, so if you're sensitive to this stuff, please don't watch it, I guess. You're playing Doki Literature Club. You agree that you've noted the game's age rating in your region. You have consent to exposure of highly disturbing content. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some weird shit on YouTube, so... They're all so cute! This game's not for children, those who are easily disturbed. Doki! Wait, didn't they have pink shoes before? Or was that just Monica? I don't know. Anyway. Oh. Let's go with Artsy-chan. Hold on, wait a minute. Is that the last game I picked? I'm gonna see right quick on the phone. My apologies, I want to make sure this is like, you know, kind of authentic, I guess, to the original. If that makes sense, sorry. Come on. Sorry. Okay, yeah, it was Artsy-chan, okay. Artsy-chan! Artsy-chan here for another day of this fucking bullshit! Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more frequently and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better running off anyways. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again! But I caught you this time! Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You see that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Artsy-chan. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Artie-chan, have you decided to join a club yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Suri likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. We'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise to try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Bat. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Somebody wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come in the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you needed some encouragement, so I thought, you know... Know what? Well, you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show an interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, the interest in the literature club is guaranteed to be less. Yeah, I'm going to an anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told everyone in the club yesterday I would bring a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or she's just as cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori is full of energy and swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you.
Seriously? You brought a boy?
I'm a girl.
Way to kill the atmosphere.
Ah, Archie-chan, what a nice surprise. Oh, welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Bisexual panic.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back to the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, it seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right. It's great to see you again, Archie-chan. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down, Archie-chan. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited.
And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged in the form of a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens a closet. Feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa!
Natsuki lifts the foil off of the tray and reveals a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Well, you know. Just hurry up and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, then I follow.
It's delicious!
Sayori talks with her mouth full, and it's already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sinking glance in my direction. She waited for me to take a bite. I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
Well, why are you thanking me? It's not like I...
Haven't I heard this somewhere before? What? Oh?
Made them for you or anything, baka.
I thought you did, technically, since Sayori said,
well, maybe, but not for you, you dummy.
Alright, alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a cup of hot tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Here's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know.
I believe you.
Well, team reading might not be my pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider joining the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I should tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so...
That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay?
As
president of a literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year?
Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing around the budget and publicity, and how prepared events. As much as I'd rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica is a really great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be really hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting up all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that's just grab your attention, like literature. Convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow from this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah!
We'll do our best.
You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted just the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature.
So, Hachi-chan, what things do you like to read?
Well, concerning how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that.
Manga.
I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki suddenly perks up.
You like manga?
Sorry. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacups of her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her lights up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Ah, I read a horror book once. I desperately try to grab something I can relate to on a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with Rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you.
I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Real horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
I thought for a second her eye was just, like, going off her head. I am sorry.
Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, I just...
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind. That's right, you usually write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give it back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything about you is just as cute as you are.
Suri slides up behind Natsuki and puts a hand on her shoulders.
I'm not cute!
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exploring the vulnerabilities and showing the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe you can share some of your work. You can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Aww, I want to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment.
Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Huh?
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically over at Monika.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Archie-chan?
Monika smiles warmingly at me again.
Oh, hold on, there's still one problem. And what's that?
Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I blatantly come out what's been on my mind for the entire time. I never decided to join this club. Sarah made a conversation to stop me, but I haven't made any decisions. I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought.
Archie-chan.
I'm defensively against these girls. Bisexual panic.
How am I supposed to make a clear decision when it's like this?
Well, writing poems is a price to pay, and you are spend every day with these beautiful girls. Bisexual.
Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club.
One by one, the girl's eyes lit up.
Yes, I'm so happy!
Zoe wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down.
Hey!
You really did scare me for a moment.
You really just came for cupcakes? I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share.
Monika looks over at me once more.
Archie-chan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah. Can I really impress a class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Archie-chan, since you're already here, wanna walk home together?
That's right. Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore because she stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make most of my circumstances, then I'm sure good fortune will come find me. And I get to start writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick the club member would like your poem most. Alright, so everything seems same so far. Anyway, I've been saying this a lot recently, so I just exist.
Kitty.
I gotta go with Skip. Anxiety is in my body. Secretive together. Starscape. Friends, cheeks, forgive.
Doki, Doki.
Headphones, sparkle, last. Jump. Working.
Hi again, Archie-chan. I'm glad you didn't run away on us.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, back to Literature Club. That was last comment, so everybody else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Archie-chan. I hope this isn't too overwhelming for a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come in here and hang out or what. But if you take us seriously, you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you clearly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the clubroom. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Monica... not Monica. Natsuki pops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Archie-chan gets his best. As long as he's having fun. Helps me with busy work without even asking. Like cooking, clean my room. How dependable.
Sorry. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Archie-chan can become good friends too. Sayori?
As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she put me into.
Oh! Yuri even brought this for you today, you know? Wait, Sayori?
Me?
Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sorry made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's time to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
She reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss if you wanted.
How can this girl accidentally being so cute? She picked out a book for me she likes. She thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. Enthusiastically take the book.
Whew. Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a teary conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet.
Ugh!
I hear Natsuki utter an aspirated sigh from within the closet. She seems annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there?
Freaking Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is gonna mess it up?
Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf.
Manga? You read manga, right?
Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into until you figure out where the other person stands.
How'd you know that anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face.
What's that supposed to mean? I see. Slow and volleyball manga amidst a stack of various books side on the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack.
There it is!
Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips a volume right in the middle of the rest.
Ah, much better.
Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world.
I know that feel. I get closer to the box she's admiring. Parfait Girls? A series I never heard in my life. It probably means either way, my demographic or simply terrible.
If you're gonna judge, you can go through the glass on that door.
She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything.
It was in the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Archie-chan. Consider this a lesson straight from Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact,
Natsuki pulls the first volume of Perfect Girls out.
I'm gonna show you exactly why.
She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking anime feminine poses. It's extremely emo.
Don't just stand there.
Ugh. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. I mean, I've already been out of the closet for years, so... She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She passes to the ground next to her, signaling for me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I took a seat.
Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that.
Why not? I guess it makes it easier being close together like this.
Don't say that! You'll make me feel weird about it.
Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly a bad thing. I opened the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer to me, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I wouldn't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much eager, so I begin reading, and I am.
Wow. How long has it been since I read begin?
You don't know how to flip back. You don't go back and flip through older volumes every now and then?
Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, aren't you paying attention?
I am, but nothing's really happened yet. So I can't talk at the same time. Looks like it's just a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be some plot?
Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of beginnings is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. Besides, it's still entertaining. But later, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories and some romance starts to happen. And that's what makes it really good. So there's so many touching parts.
That's so. That sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you.
Hey, wait! What's that supposed to mean?
Atsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant it like I haven't seen you at your full power.
Good save.
This chapter seems to be about baking. It's just a guess, but there's a lot of baking in this manga.
Well,
Natsuki pauses for a moment. She doesn't want to admit something.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right?
It's just a coincidence. I just happened to get a baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable.
Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, a lot of hobbies to pick up from a manga. That's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it. So, who am I to judge? Reread for a few more minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't?
That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Sorry.
Like, I could ever get my friends to read this. They'll just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, You still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face.
Ugh, you know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who won't judge, much less friends who are also into it. But I'm already kind of a loser, I guess, so I'm gravitated to other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't know what would happen if my dad found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. And it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So? Geez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what?
Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing.
I totally forgot that happens.
Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels.
Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... Ugh, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this sapper.
Natsuki's voice sparkles in excitement, with a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. Ah, dang it. It's hard to express words and feeling when you're connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me sigh a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with the poem? Today's poems?
Oh, come on! Could you trying to be any more worse?
Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright. I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki.
You're just giving it back? Do you want to know what happens?
Yes, but
Uncle just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you.
Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I didn't plan on using my spare time to read this.
Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you just didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you.
By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice if I... Hold on. Quite possibly the worst time. Or am I just more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then, I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write your poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait!
Suri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Suri one is wrinkled, a sheet of loose leaf paper from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers down in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply while reaching to their bags. I do the same myself. Share my poem to first. Let's go with Sayori. I'm definitely more comfortable sharing with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all.
This is a good poem, Artie-chan. Are you sure this is your first time?
Of course. I'm not that good. Am I the kind of guy who looks like writing poems in spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's what impresses me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you would write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing right in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Artie-chan, deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying to do things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees a full picture of my motive here. Again, I can't deny that she's one part of the reason I enjoy. Now, knowing how much it means to her and all.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make sure I have lots of fun here, okay? It will be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm gonna hold that to you then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through the blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead held me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori? This is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least it makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still try my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or actually I put it, it sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you're late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. Getting all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing.
Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun. Monika's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Sure, my poem to next. Let's go with Natsuki.
Okay, well, I'll start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki, read my poem.
Never mind. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
What's my insurance poem in the first place? I wrote this so I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's why I had my writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable, share yours, like Monica said.
Well, I'd be more comfortable sharing my poem for you if yours was really bad. You're supposed to show me some dumb poem and I go like, well, it's not great, but let me show you what some really literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I'll be happy.
So in other words, you're saying you liked it.
Ugh.
Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're some all self-important.
I'm pretty sure you never actually said that. I said that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that you liked my poem.
In any case, you'll still need
to show me yours, right?
Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, cookies can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
Yeah, I told you
that you were not gonna like it.
I like it. What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing like that It's supposed to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of writing poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. Like the way when you read it hits you hard, like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you doing great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple poems is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up the rhyme at the end, but I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess we went more to it than I realized.
That's what it means to be pro. I'm glad you learned something.
Didn't expect that from
The youngest here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Let's go, Fury. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes more. She goes to finish reading.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't worry yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad.
No! I didn't... Did I just read my voice? Sorry.
Yuri buries her head in her hands. I couldn't help but notice, but it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. That's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical for new writers. And having been that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think it's most memorable to recognize a new writer's style is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and the form fits the two together. Enter Balsa's style of both expressionists are weakened.
Yuri finds herself on the train of thought. It's very, to me, it totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone. Sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even for a simple poem. Not just finding them, but building them and getting to work them together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice by learning simple and trying new things. I also hope that everyone at the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if you read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which in itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Ah, cursive. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light. Have withstood the test of time, once yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing the air in the pursuit, but living in the past, the light flickers. I flicker back.
I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But you took a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read scripts often. I just think your handwriting's pretty.
Huh? That's a relief.
I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really scripted.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since our first poem sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghost series?
Actually, story isn't bad at all, Artie-chan.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over after all. But remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. I usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture.
In this case, practice subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in the last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. As soon, it will be left for nothing. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't really thought of that. That's impressive. It's not really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you're picking up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Alright, Monica.
Hi, Artie-chan. Are you having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, we're gonna have a session for the club, like new activities, or things we can do better. I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll still be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, do you want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I suppose I have to.
Don't worry, Artie-chan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's our barrier that we'll have to learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. And Monica, my poem.
I like it, Artie-chan.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Oh, jeez.
No. It kind of makes me think of something that Suki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that wouldn't apply more to everyone.
I see. So you're saying that Natsuki's kind of like that?
Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why her poem would be your kind of poem to explore.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I get comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find your kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards you. They're all kind of styles, but always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read a poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be good.
Well, that's the case. I have to sound confident. It doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know?
I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the reactions of Spikle, Rogers, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I was at home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. A real blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My routines. Already scorched by the permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright, it wasn't too deep, stretching forever into everything. The hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and T on the other side was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, I kind of got a style that's pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What's the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess I could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous about talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific poem. So if you try hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy up later.
Sorry.
If you keep your pen on the same topic too long, you just get a big dark puddle of ink.
just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thank you for listening.
Whew. I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. More stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're being nice, there's no way my poems stand up to theirs. This is a Literature Club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They're gingerly exchanging sheets of paper and sharing their respective poems. In a tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What is this language?
Eh?
Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Ah, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did it completely miss the symbolism or something? That's clear about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh? You mean you're having a hard time coming up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple of suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Archie-chan did too.
So we thought that I'll gladly give you suggestions of my own.
First of all,
excuse me. I appreciate your offer, but I spent a long time establishing my own writing style. I don't expect to change the way anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Archie-chan liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
So what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Archie-chan appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't have to deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do look overly cutesy.
Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Archie-chan started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like you fighting.
Suddenly, both girls started having an argument. Archie-chan? She's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it.
If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making my poems convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out to the reader, not force him to figure him out.
Let me explain that to her, Archie-chan.
Wait, there's a reason I have so many deep and expressive words in our language. That's the only way to convince my complex feelings. Avoiding them is not necessarily losing yourself, but it's also... dang it, I keep skipping. You understand right, Archie-chan? Well, how do I get dragged into this in the first place? I'm not gonna know anything about writing. But whoever I get with will probably think more highly of me. So, of course, it's going to be... Help me, Sayori! And Natsuki... Natsuki glares at me, drying up all the words in my mouth. Since I turn to Yuri... Yuri... Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori... Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can you two keep fighting when you're making your friend feel like this? Archie-chan. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair to bring this other interest and feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place.
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop!
Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give out so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because, well,
Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful.
Sayori? Sayori stands up, triumphantly. Monica stands between her with a bewildered expression.
I'll make some tea.
Yuri brushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. This is why Sayori is vice president, I whispered to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I may come off as a good leader, but I can't organize things. But I'm not very good with people. I can't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing for me. Nah. Sorry.
Not like I can blame you.
I wasn't able to say anything either.
Well,
Sayori's demeaning in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's really suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. You see, take care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only gave the chance to talk for a little more.
Okay, everyone. It's about time for us to leave. How do you feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I say it was worth it.
It was alright, well, mostly.
Archie-chan, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself. Did a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job of impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Archie-chan, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Suri beams at me. I don't really say that I'm not enjoying it either. Suri? But what happened earlier?
What do you mean?
You know, between Sayori and it's not Sayori. Bleh. Between Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen?
No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just want your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Archie-chan, I'm going to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with someone else is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone else really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun.
Looks like Sayori hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure. You probably know what it's nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, I'll just have to see what the future holds. I pat Sayori's shoulders. I said that more to myself than to her because it's easy to sorry than intentional monologue sometimes.
Okay?
Yeah, let's do this. And on that note, we are going to end this episode today. Alright. So, yeah. What the fuck? Brute. Oh! I didn't want to go back, sorry. Side stories? What? Side stories of friendship that are unrelated to the events of the main game. You can also explore charming poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes in DDLC. Files? Whoa. Pictures? Aww. cute. Oh, that's so cute. Well, a lot of these drawings are very adorable. Music? Did I say Ohio Sayori? So okay, everyone, play with me. Poem Panic. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Candy Hearts. Dear Sunshine. Aww. Alright. Well, that wraps up this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you fellow crews next time.